Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating life and legacy of Tom Lehrer, a unique figure who blended sharp wit, dark humor, and musical talent into something truly unforgettable. If you love satirical songs with a twist, stick around, because Tom Lehrer's story is one you definitely want to know. And hey, before we jump in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our celebrity deep dives and entertainment news. All right, let's get started. Tom Lehrer, who passed away recently at the age of 97, was no ordinary musician. A Harvard-trained mathematician by day, he moonlighted as a musical satirist in the 1950s and 60s, creating songs that were as clever as they were cheeky. His lyrics were nimble, often salacious, and usually packed with sardonic humor, all set to melodies that were maddeningly cheerful. This contrast made his music unforgettable, often catching listeners off guard with dark themes wrapped in upbeat tunes. Lehrer's career in entertainment was brief but impactful. He stopped performing regularly in 1960, came back briefly in the mid-60s, and finally retired from the stage in 1967. Despite the fame his songs brought him, his true passion was academia. He balanced his musical side hustle with a distinguished career teaching mathematics at Harvard, MIT, and later at the University of California, Santa Cruz. He even worked for the Atomic Energy Commission for a while. Interestingly, Lehrer never sought the spotlight. In an interview in 2000, he said, "I don't feel the need for anonymous affection. If they buy my records, I love that. But I don't think I need people in the dark applauding." It's clear he saw his music as a creative outlet, not a path to fame. Now let's talk about some of his iconic songs. His output wasn't huge, but what he did create was memorable and often darkly hilarious. Take the Old Dope Peddler, a seemingly harmless tune that reveals a much seedier side beneath its catchy melody. Or Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, a song that, despite its cheerful tune, features lyrics about a decidedly morbid pastime. These songs perfectly captured Lehrer's talent for combining wit, satire, and melody. Tom Lehrer's journey began early. He graduated from the Loomis Chaffee School in Connecticut, and then headed to Harvard, where he earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics at just 18 years old. He quickly earned a master's degree the following year, and pursued doctoral studies, though he never completed his PhD. Along the way, he started writing songs for fun, quick parodies and witty ditties he shared with his friends and fellow students. One of his earliest songs, Fight Fiercely Harvard, poked fun at traditional college fight songs with clever lines like, "Fight, fight, fight, demonstrate to them our skill. We shall invite the whole team up for tea." It was clear from the start that Lehrer's humor was smart, self-aware, and perfectly pitched to his audience. By the early 1950s, Lehrer was juggling his academic career with a growing interest in music. In 1953, encouraged by friends, he self-produced his first album, Songs by Tom Lehrer. Originally pressed in just 400 copies and sold mostly by mail order, it quickly gained popularity, selling hundreds of thousands of copies over time. The album cover featured a cartoon Lehrer at a piano with devil horns and a tail, a cheeky nod to the mischievous nature of his songs. Songs like My Hometown painted a picture of quirky and sometimes twisted small-town life, while I Hold Your Hand in Mine was a morbidly humorous take on necrophilia. These provocative themes didn't stop the album's success. If anything, they added to its cult appeal. Lehrer's rising fame led to nightclub gigs across the U.S., including New York, Boston, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Though his career was briefly interrupted by a 2-year stint in the Army, he returned to performing in 1957, touring extensively in North America and overseas. In 1959, he released 2 albums simultaneously, More of Tom Lehrer, a studio album, and An Evening Wasted with Tom Lehrer, a live album featuring concert versions of his songs. But after another year on the road, Lehrer hung up his performing hat and went back to teaching. Fast forward a few years, and Lehrer's musical work shifted toward television. In the mid-60s, he wrote several songs for the satirical NBC show That Was the Week That Was. Though he didn't appear on camera, his sharp political and social commentary was front and center. Songs like A Song for World War III and Werner von Braun tackled nuclear war and rocket science with biting humor. One of his most controversial songs from this period was The Vatican Rag, which mocked the Catholic Church's attempts to modernize during the Second Vatican Council. The song's irreverent lyrics ruffled feathers among clergy and viewers alike, even prompting protests when it aired on public television. After a final concert in Copenhagen in 1967, Lehrer retired from performing for good. He continued to write occasionally, contributing fun, educational songs to the PBS children's show The Electric Company in the early 1970s, and even performing at a political rally for Senator George McGovern. But the nightclub stage was behind him. Despite fading from mainstream attention by the 1980s, so much so that some people thought he'd passed away, Lehrer's work found new life. The British musical revue, Tomfoolery, featuring his songs, premiered in London in 1980 and became a hit, eventually playing in New York, Washington, and other cities. Lehrer himself downplayed the show's success, joking that the world had run out of new songwriters, so people had to dust off his old tunes. But he acknowledged that the Vietnam War changed his perspective, saying, "My purpose was to make people laugh and not applaud. If the audience applauds, they're just showing they agree with me." He also famously remarked, "Political satire became obsolete when Henry Kissinger was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize." In a generous and unprecedented move late in life, Lehrer announced in 2020 that he was releasing all his song lyrics for free use. No royalties, no permissions required. Anyone could use, parody, or adapt his work without fear of legal action. He wanted his music to live on and evolve, free from restrictions. Lehrer spent his later years dividing time between Cambridge and Santa Cruz, teaching mathematics and musical theater. Asked once if he had a family, he replied simply, "Not guilty on both counts." He left no immediate survivors. Reflecting on his bicoastal life, he once said he'd keep his Massachusetts home until my brain turns completely to jello, at which point he'd move full-time to California. Tom Lehrer may have stepped away from the spotlight decades ago, but his sharp humor, clever songwriting, and unique blend of academia and artistry have left an enduring legacy. His songs continue to entertain and provoke thought, reminding us that humor can be both dark and delightful. Thanks for watching this tribute to a truly one-of-a-kind entertainer and thinker. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into entertainment legends. And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite Tom Lehrer song? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep laughing and stay curious.